This is the part of the video, I'm pretty sure, where the creator has a nice little steaming cute mug to chit chat, but what I have is a bottle of Mountain Dew and a dream. So let's get going. Hello everyone, I'm Penny Snark. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to start my Art Nouveau ball gown for the Bal de Arts that is being hosted in Chicago in only a few short weeks. So we are getting a little bit of a late start. This will not surprise anyone who knows me, but I have gone through a lot of different concepts for this dress. I purchased a pattern for it. I decided I didn't want to make the pattern, but I've done some sketching. I've done a lot of Pinteresting and collecting of inspiration, and I do think I have an idea of what I want to do. It is going to be something new for me. I have never really done kind of a simple draped dress before. I do not usually work like entirely without a pattern. I'm definitely using, I'll share the pattern that I did purchase because it is a very nice pattern. It just ended up not being exactly kind of like the vision that I want, but I did take some kind of construction details from there, which I think will be very helpful. But other than that, I am just gonna jump into it. As Sam Reich would say, the only way to begin is by beginning. So we're getting started, and wish me luck. Okay, so I just did a bunch of gathering and took a look in the mirror, and it was not really the look that I was going for. And I think what I want is to have pleats in the center front and then some gathering off to the sides. So I am here clipping together kind of a like cascading box pleat. I'm sure that this has a real name, but I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. But I am going to keep clipping that in place because I really want to have kind of that dramatic waterfall effect in the front center. So we are gonna add a few more little kind of pleats in here, and then we will take a look and see what we're thinking. So at this point, I did take a lot of footage, and it all looked exactly the same. It was just a lot of me clipping white fabric and sewing white fabric together. Okay, we have had a pretty good amount of progress today, I think. I am feeling pretty good about what I have done so far. I have put together kind of the front and did some pleating, cut out 2 panels for the back and stitched those together. And then just now I was putting together what I think will be the ties for the back closure. It is about time for a lunch break, and I am also waiting for like a slip and stuff that I ordered that's supposed to be coming today. So I am hoping that that will get here soon-ish, and then that'll really let me kind of pin things on, try them on, see if I'm gonna need to add extra layers anywhere. So that'll kind of be able to let me construct things, because I think I'm really gonna have to have it on my body to determine like how I need to like tuck or like pleat the back segment. But I am, knock on wood, happy so far with what we're doing. It feels like what I am envisioning is kind of coming together. So hopefully I will have a little bit more to show you after lunch, but I'm gonna take a break and be back for more. Okay, we are back from lunch. My package did arrive with a slip. As mentioned, just I'm not 100% sure how much fabric I will have, if I have enough. Oh no, I put the camera on this side. You guys know I'm never going to be able to look into the camera. So not knowing like how much fabric I'm going to have, if I'm going to be able to fully line it, which I probably will not. I did want to get this slip. It's a spaghetti strap. Obviously I will just not be wearing those. And then we've also got 2 things of boob tape because I was not sure if it was going to be sufficient for like how many wraps I would be able to get out of a single package. So I thought I would buy 2 just in case, just to make sure. And because I have looked at all of the instructions on it, we've also got baby oil so I can take the tape off. I'm not 100% sure if I'm gonna tape them up right now or what the plan is. I'm gonna keep sewing a bit, get some. So I'm at a point where I think I need to kind of see how it's all going to fit in order to kind of put together some of the more delicate adjustments. So we will see. I'm gonna get back at it. I will keep you updated on how we go. This is not related to this project, but I finally brought this little vintage turtle guy upstairs. He was my grandma's, and he is a lovely little vintage pincushion, his tail and his head bob, and I'm very excited to have him be joining my little sewing menagerie. So, welcome. Hello again. We are 1 week later and 1 week out from the ball. So time to get in motion, get everything done. I got a good amount of progress last week, really kind of constructed the base of the dress. So now what I really have left is to do the sleeves, any kind of final pleating to fit, and then of course the hem. I did also pick up some chain at Michael's that I want to use mostly decoratively, but also somewhat just to kind of have something supporting since it is going to be strapless. So got to get this together. Just realized that I need pliers to deal with this, and the pliers are downstairs in my toolbox. So got to go back down there to get that, but I might go ahead and do the sleeves first since I'm already up here. I don't know. Do you guys feel like that? Like once I'm here, I kind of want to just get going and do something. So yeah, we'll get going. Might have to take a break for lunch and a podcast recording. But otherwise, that is the plan for today. So let's get to it. Hey, do you guys want to see my shoes that I bought? Obviously, these are not even slightly historically accurate, but I have bad knees and ankles and also hips, so I'm gonna wear something that is comfy and hopefully something that I can wear again. Otherwise, I just would not be walking by the end of the night. But how cute are these? Obviously, the goal is that no one will actually see them because I am going to be in a floor-length dress, so I just wanted something nude. But I thought some of these sparklies might be fun for a little sneak peek, and like I said, fun for other events in my life. So, shoes, check. All right, so as mentioned, I got this chain, and I got some pliers, which is what Google tells me I need to deal with this. I've never worked with, I don't really do any jewelry making. So we shall see what we shall see. I did just kind of like a quickie measurement of what I think to go from kind of like the bust over my shoulder into the back looks like. And it gave, like, it said like 25. So I feel like 25 inches seems like a solid place to start. And then obviously I can adjust as needed. Okay, so that's 25, and you're supposed to, oh my god, these pliers are not delicate jewelry pliers, they're big honkers. But if I can just twist it open, question, is it gonna work? I don't know, man. Okay, that it did do something. It did do something. Success! We did it, team. One down. And now that I'm looking at this, I don't know if this is going to be long enough, but I will take a look and we will see. Hello. So yesterday, as I was kind of working on things, I realized that my plan to do the gold chains kind of as straps over my shoulders was probably not going to work out. And I just really, I realized I needed stronger support kind of holding up this dress front if I wanted it to sit exactly where I wanted it to, which made me think that maybe I actually want more of like a halter or like necklace neck. But that means I can't just use a piece of chain that I can't fit my head through. So I'm like, well, could I use a necklace? So I have brought up some chains and a really lovely necklace that I have. I think this one's going to be too short. Like, obviously I could add more chain to it, but I think this might be a little more trouble. But I am hoping this guy might be a good functional kind of necklace and has room, because what did I measured, and I really wanted like around 24 inches of space. And yeah, this is longer than that, which means I think I should be able to sew it, like have not just like in a V, but have a kind of a cross neckline, because that's the other thing I was worried about, is that the places where the chain is attached is just going to tug really awkwardly if it's trying to support too much weight. So this is what I am thinking. I was not able to show you guys what I was doing with that yesterday because it involved a lot of me being topless. So sorry about that. This is where we are. I'm going to see what I can do, see how it's going, and let's get back to it. Okay, we are losing some light, and the lighting up here is really bad. So I don't know if I'm going to do any more filming tonight, but I was just trying it on with kind of the necklace in place, and it was just obviously too much weight on my neck. I wouldn't have been able with just a chain. That was kind of something I was worried about. But so the original pattern that I was going to use had this cool drapey cape thing. And I thought that maybe I wasn't going to do it, but I actually think having the cape kind of attached with chains, these are just kind of two different options. This, I obviously will use ones that match. That's part of the other reason that I didn't want to use this one, because it does not match the chain that I just bought. But I think this is kind of cool. I do not have myself put together, so I can't show you the whole thing, but I do feel like the drapiness is nice, and I will say that I was feeling a little bit self-conscious about like full open back. So I think this might be a nice little addition that will kind of solve several different problems. So fingers crossed, I'm gonna go for it because we've got the time that we've got and we got to keep going. Oh my gosh, you guys, I wasn't even recording because I didn't think it was gonna work, but I did my first rolled hem. Oh my gosh. I have tried to use this foot before and failed, but look how nice. Look, I mean, it started off pretty wonky, but it got there. I am so proud. Oh, also look how good my nails are. Can we just appreciate that? Oh my God, the shadows. This is why I'm not recording, because the light is not good in here. Thank you for joining me in handheld mode. Let's hope that I can actually do this on the real garment. And thus the dress was finished. I actually finished on Thursday night with the ball, leaving for the ball on Saturday morning, which I am actually pretty impressed with myself. As we know, I started pretty late, and obviously this was a very simple dress, certainly not as complicated as a true period piece would have been, but I was able to finish in time and get everything packed up and head down to Chicago for the ball. It was such a lovely night. I am dropping in footage from the evening around here, but we had a live string quartet, our wonderful dance master Rosalind calling out all of the moves and guiding us through the dances. I did not intend to dance, especially with such a long dress. I did end up leaving it quite long, but I just couldn't resist. I did join in for a grand march, which, you know, is fairly sedate as far as these dances go. But then I actually, since I was already in the group, they kind of opened us up all into a circle, and we did a really fun dance where we were all going, you know, back and forth, in and out, spinning around, and it definitely felt like the true fantasy historic ball experience. Everything was so beautifully done. Sostin did such an amazing job organizing everything. All of the little details, the table linens, even like the plates had Bal de Arts branding on them. The bar was gorgeous. There were all sorts of lovely places you could set up and take a photo just throughout the mansion. In addition, they did have kind of photo ops downstairs where they did have some pro photographers taking photos, and that was also where tintypes were. I was really tempted, but we do actually have a tintype photographer up here in Milwaukee, so I am sure I will get one done someday, but this was just not the night. It sold out super fast, so even if I wanted one, I think I was too slow on the draw. But we had such a gorgeous time. I always appreciate my dear Wendy for being my date and my sewing buddy. We always talk throughout everything. Got to see some of the folks that we met at the previous 1890s event in Chicago, which was lovely. I was hoping to tell you at this ball that I would be going to the Crimson Peak event being hosted next year, but all those tickets seem to have sold out in like less than a minute. So did not get one of those. So unfortunately, sounds like I will not be headed back there again next spring. But who knows, maybe I'll still end up making something spooky. I definitely was revitalized doing this. It just reminded me how much I do enjoy sewing and making an outfit come to life. It's something that I struggle a lot with getting through kind of the beginning phases, like cutting out the pieces and the patterning. Once we're actually into the sewing, that part I really like. So I think this is a good reminder for me of how much I do enjoy that process, and also just that I can kind of play it by ear if I want to. I was able just to kind of make up a cool dress. Obviously it was a dress that doesn't have a lot of structure to it, but that's something that I can do for my everyday clothes. So maybe you will see some more kind of DIY self-drafted experiments coming up on this page. I hope you enjoyed seeing the process, the very chaotic process. I always feel like, I don't know, I really appreciate seeing people who are chaotic in their crafting, because it makes me feel better about my own chaos. So I hope that I was able to give that to you. That is my gift to you, is knowing that absolutely everything that happens up in my sewing room is nonsense, but I still ended up with a dress, and I got some very kind compliments, felt very beautiful in it. Shout out to La Casa de Flores for the absolutely gorgeous floral headpieces. I was really hoping, I know that she has done so many lovely kind of Art Nouveau specific and also adjacent things in the past, so I was really excited to be able to snap those up in a sale that she did, because I was like, whatever I put in my hair is gonna be like the defining piece for the dress. And so I think they really brought it together and made everything have that Muka vibe. I felt like I was a beautiful advertisement for absinthe or cigarettes or champagne, and that was all that I wanted. So we're gonna call it a success. I hope you will join me for the next thing that I make. I don't know if it'll be sewing or crafting. I have been also thinking about just doing like an interesting presentation for you. Would you guys like that? Let me know what you think. Sometimes there are topics that like don't quite fit in for the podcast, but I'd still love to talk about, and maybe I could do that on here. So let me know if you want to find me elsewhere. I am still on Instagram doing my thing. You can also find more behind the scenes and more in-depth looks at this project and all of my previous historic pieces on my Patreon. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. I really love knowing that you got my back, and I will be posting probably a few things that I thought were a little bit too salacious for the YouTube on there. So if that sounds enticing to you, go check it out. Otherwise, please do like, comment, and subscribe if you want to stick around. And I hope to see you in the next project. Goodbye.